All right, we are on. Welcome to the BE Ballin YouTube channel. We're gonna have a lot to discuss. We're gonna discuss a lot of NBA awards, a lot of their predictions, and we're gonna discuss the Rookie of the Year, the Coach of the Year, the MVP, the Defensive Player of the Year, the GM, the Sixth Man, and we're gonna talk about who's going to be in the finals and who's going to be the worst team to get the number one pick. And we're going to talk about the Bucks too. So I'm going to let my two guests introduce themselves. Cal, you can go first.
Well, first of all, thank you, Ashley, for letting me join you on your lovely show, the IB Ballin Show. I've been fortunate enough to watch a few of your other shows and listen to your other guests who have joined you, and it's a great show, and I'm happy to be a part of it. So, a little bit about myself. My name is Kyle Scheidegger. I'm from New Berlin, Wisconsin, just outside of Milwaukee, and I love the Milwaukee Bucks. I have a great passion for the game of basketball. Um, I've been following the game closely and playing it since I was about really fully committed to following and watching it when I was probably about 11. Joined my first basketball team, I think, in third grade when I was 9, but I wasn't super into it until about 2 years later or so. That's when I really started following the Bucks. The first Bucks game I went to was Bucks Lakers, Bucks versus Lakers at the Bradley Center, and I went with my grade school's Boy Pioneers group. So that was kind of my first introduction to the NBA and to the Bucks and to everything. And that's when I really first started getting into sports and started following things and realized that this was something I was really interested in and I wanted to explore further and kind of commit to more. Um, so it was really great. My first game that I went to, I was able to get a sign that I had made, signed by Tim Thomas back then,
Oh, nice.
and um, he was signing autographs at a section, um, kind of right when you walked in. You went up the escalators, and I believe it was section 201 at the time, and they had like player appearances there a couple times throughout the year, and I just happened to go on the right date that Tim Thomas was there, and so I got an autograph from Tim Thomas and had like this little sign that said "Go Bucks," and to this day I still have that sign, and it's in my closet right now, and that sign will be saved forever, kind of as like a sort of like a marking of like my first day as being a fan and my first introduction to everything. And sometimes I kind of think about that and like if that experience would have been differently, or if maybe I wouldn't have been able to meet him or something, or if I hadn't been able to get his autograph in time, then maybe I wouldn't have been as interested in the Bucks. But meeting him and seeing him and being at that game really set forth a future passion that would further develop stronger and stronger every year. And I've been riding and dying with the Bucks ever since. And just every year that went by, I started playing basketball more, and I grew, and I just grew as a fan, and I grew to love the game, and I just grew to love the team more and more. And here I sit today in 2021, a few short months after we won the championship, and I couldn't have been happier to have been able to go on this journey with you, Ashley, and with Katie, who's going to join us, and just with every other fellow Bucks fan that we all went through these times together, and we came out on top, and the journey was worth it, and I wouldn't have traded the journey for anything in the world. And I hope that we can keep on going and make more memories and have fun again. So that's kind of my introduction. So I follow the NBA really closely. Every night I'm trying to catch a game, and I love watching Inside the NBA with Shaq, Ernie
Oh,
Johnson, and Charles Barkley. And every year it's like the first time that I get to watch Inside the NBA. it's like that's when things feel normal for my life, or that's when things seem good again. It's like, okay, now I know it's the season, and now I know like it's time to go and gear up, and it's time to get ready for another fun year. So we're a couple weeks into the NBA season now, and um, I know it's early for some of these predictions. So a lot of these awards will have many candidates who are vying to win them, and there's a lot of good candidates. So I can't wait to discuss them all with you guys and with the viewers out there, and kind of bounce ideas off you and see what you guys think and see who you guys feel feel are going to win these awards. So that's really it for me. Thanks.
That's cool. That's cool, Kyle. Katie, you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Katie. I live in Milwaukee. I became a huge Bucks fan in high school when Ray Allen was there. And then I basically went to college in Milwaukee because of the Bucks. They were here. And I was like, I wanted to be closer to them. So I went to college at UWM. And then when the fan section started,
When the fan section,
what?
yeah, when the fan section started, that's where you left
Yep.
off.
Oh, yeah. I started doing that the first season, and I've been doing it since. Um, so I'm a big Bucks fan, and I like watching all the NBA games, really. I don't really, I've never done an analysis on everything in the NBA, but I play fantasy basketball, so I know some.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Um, yeah, that's about it.
Those are our two guests, Kyle and Katie, the two Ks. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Champions. Both
I
wearing the hat.
I really do love these hats. By the way, this
Yeah.
probably this probably is my favorite hat of all time. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie.
Wow. That's big.
It's my
I
favorite.
love the gold. I love the gold in the champions.
No, did a really nice job on it. Hopefully someday, if not this year, in the future, we can have more hats like these. I hope.
Oh yeah, more rings.
That'd be
Well,
nice.
let's. Oh yeah, let's get started with our prediction about the rookie of the year. This class is really talented with a lot of rookies. And Cal, who do you think's going to be the rookie of the year? Do you think's going to be the runner up? What's your prediction?
So yeah, I thought about this a little bit beforehand, before the show, and I think I've really narrowed it down to four candidates that I think are really gonna be pushing hard to win that Rookie of the Year. My four candidates right now, as of this moment, are Scotty Barnes of the Raptors, Jalen Green of the Houston Rockets,
Okay.
Evan Mobley of the Cleveland Cavaliers, and
Yep.
Chris Duarte from the
Hmm.
Indiana Pacers. And in looking at these four guys, it's I really feel like these guys are the ones who have, to this point now, it's just getting into the third week of the season, so it is early still for sure. But as of this moment, I feel like those are the four that have really separated themselves as potential candidates to compete for that award. And out of those four right now, um, ultimately I went with Scotty Barnes to win Rookie of
Oh
the
yeah.
uh, I I really tried to be fair. I uh, I looked at everyone's stats so far, and I feel like to this point, Scotty Barnes has been the most complete player, factoring in rebounding, factoring in passing, factoring in efficiency, how well he is scored at an efficient rate. And I believe right now he's averaging almost 17 points a game on like
Yeah.
50% shooting with like 8 rebounds per game. probably like 4 or 5 assists. So far he's been really complete. Jalen Green, he might not win Rookie of the Year this year, but I think he has the highest ceiling of the.
Yeah.
So I think Scotty Barnes is better at the moment, but Jalen Green has the most potential. I do like Evan Mobley a lot. He brings a lot of great things. I'll actually talk about him a little more, I think, in when it comes to one of my other awards.
Oh,
Chris,
really?
yeah, Chris Duarte. He reminds me of a Brogdon type, like the way that Brogdon won Rookie of the Year, because he kind
Yeah.
of because Brogdon came in with the Bucks and he was a little older. He was like 23 his
Mm.
first year because he played all 4 years of college at Virginia. I believe that's where Brogdon went, right? Yeah, Virginia. Um, and so he came in and he was NBA ready right away. And like you see that with Chris Duarte, he comes in and I think he's 24 or he just recently turned
Yeah.
24. So
Yeah.
he's slightly older. He's a slightly older prospect, and some people are sometimes turned away to that. But
Hmm.
like if you wanna have your team develop and you want to develop at a fast rate and you want a guy that can contribute right away and maybe get you some have you he can get your team to play some important basketball down the stretch. I'm not sure if the Pacers will make the playoffs or not, but he's somebody that can help you compete down the line and really give you a chance to play some meaningful basketball right out of the gates as a rookie. So like I said, any one of those four guys has potential, I think, to win the award. But as of this moment, I'll go with Scotty Barnes.
Yeah, it's very tough, because I feel like all the rookies are averaging around the same points.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I really like Jalen Green because he got a lot of potential, like you said. He got a lot of bounce. He's a bucket getter. And I do agree, he has probably one of the highest ceilings.
I think
Cade
he's.
Cunningham, what you say?
I think Green is the youngest of the four that I mentioned. He's like only
Oh.
he's only 19, so he's extremely young.
Yeah, he went to the G League Elite instead of college. That probably really helped him.
Yeah, no,
Um,
he's great. He has a lot of potential.
yeah, Scotty Barnes, I really like his two-way potential. He's probably leading the rookies in scoring. Chris from the Pacers, I know he's like shooting like catch and shoot triples like at 45%, and I think his pull-ups are 40%. I really do like him. Franz Wagner, Jalen Suggs, they all, and Cade Cunningham, they're all, have the potential to really be good. Cade Cunningham, he's off to a slow start, but I still think he's going to be in one of the runnings for Rookie of the Year. Mine's is Evan Mobley. I really like him. I think big men, they kind of go at a slow pace in developing, but I really like him. He reminds me of like Kevin Garnett, Chris Bosh. He can shoot the three. He can post up. I saw him posting up Jason Tatum on like NBA TV that game, and he can pass, rebound. I think he's averaging 13.7 rebounds, but I think he and Jalen Green, they have the highest potential. And I noticed that even when he's on the perimeter, he can like guard the guards, because a lot of guards, when they see a big man, they like, oh, I'm about to cook
Bar-
this
bar-
guy,
yeah,
get a three.
barbecue chicken. Yeah, like
Yeah,
Shaq says.
like in the post. But
Yeah.
like I saw him guarding Damian Leonard, and he really stayed with them well.
Who did you
And
say? Damian Lillard? Oh,
yeah, Damian Leonard.
for
And
for for a brief second, I thought you said Kawhi Leonard. And I was like, no,
he
Damian.
hasn't been playing. Oh, and then I found out that like 40% of his minutes are at small forward, because Jared Allen is playing the center. So they're playing two bigs, and that's like very versatile for a big man that's 7 foot. The fact that he's playing the three too, so that's amazing. I was shocked by that. Katie,
No,
who's
Evan
yours?
Evan Mobley. No, he's a modern big. He's a very he's a modern big.
Yep, great in this time.
I
So
kind of
Katie, who's yours? Oh, what'd you say, Cal?
I was just I kind of had to throw in something about the Pistons.
Oh, okay.
I don't know about Cade Cunningham as the number one pick. I sort of feel like the Pistons should have went with like Mobley or Barnes, like a bigger type player, because like the Pistons, they drafted Sadiq Bey, who's like a forward slash shooting guard, and
Mhm.
they had Killian Hayes. So now
Mhm.
they're trying to make like a Hayes slash Cunningham backcourt work, and I don't really know if Cade is like most comfortable in that role, or like they're gonna kind of have to choose one or the other, or like sort of go
Yeah.
one direction. Like I don't know if those two are the best fit together. So if I was the Pistons, I would have maybe considered Mobley or Barnes there. But I mean, Cunningham, he's a very solid, safe, good player. Like I might be wrong. It might end up working, but so far those other players have like separated themselves a bit more. But we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll
You make
see.
a good point. You make a good point.
He could
Because Hayes was a top pick, and I hope they can play in the backcourt together, but
he
we
could he
got
could he could prove me wrong for sure. I know he had like a little bit of an ankle injury or was a little dinged up, so he hasn't been fully healthy. So maybe that's been a part of it. So no disrespect, Cade Cunningham, if you're out there, you're a great you're a great
he
player in your own right.
he's
But
gonna pick it up. He's
no
been picking
disrespect.
it up.
I trust Cade Cunningham to be good, but I have a hard time trusting the Detroit Pistons and their development and just what their long term plans
Ooh,
and ideas are. I feel like that needs to be in question a bit, and it's
Pistons
fair.
fans, don't hate on us. Don't hate
I'm
on
sorry.
us.
I'm sorry, Pistons fans. You guys made me sad when I was like in fifth grade, in sixth grade, watching you beat the Bucks in the first round. And you like beat us in 5 games. I was sad. So you guys had your fun with me. So now I'm having my fun with you. That's how. What goes? What's that phrase? What goes around comes back around, back around. Yeah, that's the phrase that Bucks fans got to say after this title last year. You guys made fun of us in the past, and oh, fear the deer. Oh, 15-win season. Well, our process worked, and here we are with a title. So, fear the deer. That's all I have to say.
Oh
Fear the deer.
yeah.
Fear the deer. Giannis delivered on his promise, and he delivered for the city. He didn't have to leave. He didn't have to go nowhere. He just he just competed as hard as he could and worked his tail end off to improve every year. And here he sits, a two-time MVP and a Finals MVP. And we were lucky to share in his journey. That's for sure. All right, I feel like I've been talking a lot, so I gotta give other people their time to shine here.
Katie, who you think's gonna be rookie?
Okay, so yeah, I think the top two are Evan Mobley and Scotty Barnes for sure. I don't think Kate Cunningham, he's so far behind right now. He would have a lot of making up to do.
Yeah.
uh, and Mobley is, I mean, they really like him there. That they even made Mobley Mondays just to track his season highlights and stuff,
Oh
which is
wow.
kind of
That's
yeah,
nice. You know you're big
yeah,
time when you're already getting a day of the week named after you.
yeah,
Hmm.
definitely. Well, and then Scotty Barnes, like Kevin Durant, was very impressed with his high IQ for the game. So, like, he's going to be very solid all year, too. And they
Hmm.
get all the playing time they want on their teams, too. So, yeah,
Oh yeah.
so ultimately, I'm going to pick Mobley over Barnes at this point.
Okay. So
Yeah.
we got one for Scotty, two for Evan Mobley, and when the awards come out next year, we're all gonna do this again and see who was right. That's
On
gonna be
on a side note, I have to say I do respect that Kevin Durant is very complimentary of other players, and
for
I
sure.
I'm not a fan of some of the personal moves of joining the Warriors, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a Nets fan by any means, and I'm against that all the super team stuff. But I do like that Durant keeps it real, and that after the Bucks beat the Nets in their series, Durant was very complimentary of Giannis and just of the Bucks and of our crowd and fan base. And real recognizes real, and I respect him for that. Like for for uh, for giving us credit, and it's all love back, KD. Like
Oh, yeah.
sorry your shoe size was just a tad too big, but
I'm
that is
glad it was. I'm glad it was.
I am too.
And
you know
um, right after he lost, he was telling Giannis and all the other players, "Go get you one, go get you one." That's pretty impressive.
no, it is. No, I just had to say that because in today's NBA, like just so many guys struggle to have respect or give credit sometimes. Like some people can, be sore losers, no
Mhm.
other, you know, I hate to like phrase it that way, but that's what it is. I mean, salty, sore losing, whatever you want to call it. Like, but I gotta acknowledge it when a player goes out of his way to give respect and to acknowledge a good accomplishment. So thank you, Katie. I
What up?
respect, I respect the Slim Reaper in his game. Great player. Just
Well,
don't.
since you brought up KD, let's transition to who's gonna win the MVP. And KD, Curry, Giannis, Jokic, a lot of candidates. Joel Embiid. Who you got, KD, for MVP?
I think it's gonna be a repeat MVP. So either Giannis, KD, or Steph Curry, or Jokic. Um,
Hmm.
Durant is playing very efficiently this year, like insane efficiency. So I don't know. I think it's between him and Curry right now. But then the Bucks, with their slow start, gives way to Giannis. Like if they make a strong comeback, that's also a good. He can show his true MVP skills. So ultimately, right now, I would say Curry,
Okay.
just because
How
he's
about
I
you?
like better than Durant.
Oh, you like him better than Durant? Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
even though
Um.
Durant.
you go, Cal.
Okay. Um. So for me, uh, just my personal opinion. Everybody has kind of their own idea or opinion of what it means to be an MVP, or what are the credentials or qualifications to be met to be a candidate to be an MVP. And for me personally, when I look at an MVP, I look for two things basically. I look for, are you a two-way player, meaning can you impact the court on defense, on offense, and maybe not along the lines of, if you aren't fully a two-way player, are you at least a versatile offensive player? So in Curry's case, he's a great passer. Um, he's a solid enough defender, and obviously he's top two shooter like of all time. Um, so I basically just look for two-way players, guys who can be impactful on both ends of the court. And then the second thing I look for is no super teams. So that's that's just me personal. That's just my thing. Other people can think differently, but that's what it means to me to be an MVP. So for me right now, my only candidates that fit that mold are Stephen Curry, Nikola Jokic, and Giannis. To me, those are my three candidates. At the moment, I would agree that Curry is probably the leader. There's a very good chance that Jokic can go back to back though. And I won't totally rule out my boy Giannis either because the Bucks have been massively banged up injury wise, and this could be it's very possible that it could be a weird type year where like even if the Bucks are like a lower seed, like a fifth or a sixth seed, but like factoring in the injuries and all the games like our starters have missed, or like if Brooke misses 70% of like the regular season or something, and thanks to Giannis, the Bucks are still like a six seed or something, then to me that would qualify him still to be an MVP. Whereas other people might look at it and say, "Oh, their record's not as good," or like, "Oh, they're a lower seed." But it all depends on our injury situation and how many guys are out. Because if everybody's out, it could be like the year that Russell Westbrook won the MVP and the Thunder were the sixth seed. So there are like certain circumstances, or there can be special settings, or things that happen during the course of the year that can kind of change those qualifications to be met. But as of right now, Curry's probably the leader. If I had to really, really put money on it, I probably will say Jokic goes back to back. Um,
Okay, all right.
I'm definitely not counting out my guy Giannis either. So to me, those are the three candidates right now. So I'll go with the Joker right now. And I love how Nikola Jokic stood up against Markieff Morris. Jokic, if
Oh
you're out
yeah.
there, Jokic, if you're out there, I love that man. Markieff, if you're out there, you got to tone it down a bit, man. Like if you give somebody a shot, you're gonna expect to get a little hit back. So that's just the game of basketball, man. So
Jokic Jokic had to show he's not no punk, and
exactly. You can't get punked. You can't
people
get
are like people are like, you can't hit somebody with their back turned. Well, why would you foul someone
and
that?
then back. Yeah.
Yeah,
So pretty so pretty much what that says is like that logic that Markeith Morris said is like I can go into a bar, punch somebody in the face at the bar, and then turn around and like not expect to get like hit back. Like that's just not how the real world works. Like you don't get to do stuff like that and then just turn away and like run away and be safe. Like I
exactly.
don't think so. I think Morris should have been suspended one game. Him only getting a fine is a bit. I disagree with that. They both should have been suspended one game.
Hmm. Yeah.
But let's be real. Markeith Morris. It don't matter if he gets suspended because how much is he really impacting the game anyway?
Nope.
Sorry,
Nope.
sorry, Markeith. Sorry, man. You're a wannabe Bobby Portis. That's what I have to say about you.
Oh wow. Wow. Those
Oh man,
fighting words.
Kyle's
Well,
serving up Kyle's serving up some cold dishes on the IB Ballin show tonight.
oh yeah, that's what we here for, man.
I'm trying to be a straight truther here. I'm trying to let the truth shine.
I only want the real. I only want the real.
Exactly. I know what you want to hear, Ashley. I know what to deliver.
All right. So we got one for Jokic, one for Curry. It's very tough. I'm not gonna say Embiid because he gets injured too much. I'm not gonna say Doncic, even though a lot of people want his record and his efficiency isn't there. KD and Curry, I think they're leading it. Durant can just score over you. I think he's leading the league in points right now with 29. Curry and the Warriors start is just unbelievable. They only lost 2 games so far. Um, I really do want to pick Giannis, but as much as it's gonna hurt me, I can't pick Giannis. I love you see the posters. I love Giannis, but I'm not gonna pick it, even though the voter fatigue thing is over with. He proved himself in the playoffs. I just think the Bucks are gonna prioritize, just getting ready for the playoffs. I wouldn't be surprised if like they lower his minutes during like the second half of the season, once we already know where we're gonna seed in.
Boy,
I
in a normal year, I'd agree with you, Ashley. But
yeah.
unfortunately, with us starting out slow, I almost envision the opposite. We might have to play him a lot more minutes in the second half to pick up
if
games.
if we get the fourth seed, I think that's good enough because that's home court advantage.
Fair
But
enough, but we got work to do to get there right now.
yeah, we'll discuss that later in the show. We got a lot to talk about with the Bucks. My pick, I do want to pick Jokic to, you know, have another international star go back to back because I don't think Jokic gets the love he deserves. He's playing without Murray and, MPJ. But Curry has been playing without Wiseman, Clay, and KD, he's been playing with Harden, even though Harden's not playing very well. He's an
That's his own
MVP.
fault.
Huh?
Oh, nothing. That's his own fault. So
Is
they
he?
still count as they still count as a super team. It's his
Yeah.
fault that he wasn't in shape.
Well, he's playing with another MVP, so I'm discounting him,
There you
basically.
go. There you go.
And I know he's playing without Kyrie, but that's not really, it's not like an injury. It's because he won't get the shot.
Bucks
So
fans and Bucks fans and James Harden just don't mix.
yeah, we haven't liked him for a while. James Harden, we haven't.
Ever since the no skill comment, it just doesn't mix.
Yeah, too
Sorry,
much.
Harden, that Giannis won a championship before you, buddy. He didn't have to join no super team. He didn't have to get Chris Paul and Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant. You couldn't win a championship with any of those guys. Come on, man. And then you want to talk about no skill? All right.
Even if he like wins a championship, I don't think it's gonna give him the respect he deserves because he's winning it when he's not the man. You know.
Exactly. Exactly.
So,
Like like if Giannis would have been like, age 35 with the Bucks and, he's in a reduced like way different role, then like him winning a championship isn't the same as him winning one as the main star of the team, you know? It's looked at differently.
yeah, I'm gonna pick Curry mainly because the Warriors are off to a hot start. That's the main reason. But Jokic, KD, they can easily win it.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair. That is fair.
Yeah.
I respect Curry a lot.
Yeah, I like him a lot.
I like his not just his game, but he's a good person. He's a good person, good leader, good role model, good guy to follow. Like he's
Hmm.
he's good he's good for the game of basketball overall. So respect out there, Steph. Respect.
He's a good role model.
Come to Milwaukee, Steph. We can you can relive those days of playing with Giannis in the All Star game and throwing in those crazy alley oops off the bounce off the floor. You want to play with that. Come on.
I think we'd have a better chance getting Dame. But I think Dame's gonna stay. But I think Curry's gonna stay too. We'll see. So the next award we'll talk about is defense. 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 Who do you think's gonna win the defensive player of the year, Katie? Who do you think?
So I was looking at the top five candidates. It's like all really big, tall people, like centers, power forwards. I'm like, where are all the guards? Why don't they make the list? You know?
Yeah, that's. I
I
don't
think
think guards have won it since
like Gary,
maybe Gary Payton. Yeah,
I
it's
know it has.
traditionally a center who usually wins it. I feel like.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. So I would like it to be Drew Holiday, but I don't think he'll make it. He can make
yeah.
the first team all defensive again, but so then I would like someone to win it other than Gobert. So I'm gonna
Agreed.
pick
Agreed. Agreed.
I would maybe pick Bam out of Bale at this point because Miami's doing pretty good and he's their best defender.
Yeah.
He could be the underdog. We'll have to
He's
see.
definitely versatile. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess that's my pick.
What about you, Kyle?
No, Bam is a solid pick. I had Bam as one of my candidates for this award. I thought about Draymond Green maybe a little bit. I know he's won one in the past. Kawhi Leonard, who's won two, he's out for the year, so or most of the year, it seems like. So he's not going to be there. And like we talked about, it doesn't really that award hasn't gone to a guard traditionally since like I think Gary Payton probably I believe would probably be the last guard to win it. So since we're all going on the track of Jokic or Curry for MVP, I'm gonna go with Giannis here for Defensive Player of the Year again.
Ooh,
Yeah.
okay.
My guy Giannis is about winning awards now. Let's not be tricked here. If he's not getting one award, he's getting some other award. So this will be another award for his shelf in his trophy case, possibly. I'm gonna go with Giannis here. It's my guy.
Wow. Okay, okay. Another one for Giannis. There's a lot of candidates. Draymond Green. The Warriors. I believe they have the best defense this year, and Draymond Green has a lot to do with that. Davis is pretty good. The Lakers aren't really good, very good, but like Davis is like a prototype. Bam Adebayo, he's like a prototype defensively. Giannis, obviously. I'm gonna go. I feel like I'm always breaking the tie, but one for Bam, one for Giannis. I can't believe I'm gonna go there. I can't believe I'm gonna not pick Giannis. Oh my goodness.
Ashley, you were
Oh
you
my
were really
goodness.
you were
Oh
disappointing
my
me.
goodness. I'm not gonna pick Giannis. Oh my goodness. I feel like sometimes people don't like other people repeating, you know?
Yeah.
That's how I feel. Like I want Giannis to win multiple awards. Oh, and Andre Iguodala actually said something about Drew, saying Drew should have at least 3 Defensive Player of the Year awards, and that he's the best defender. And said, "Go ask KD." A lot of people, Dame, KD, they say that Drew is the best defender, but I guess maybe he's not the sexy pick. People want this tall guys, but I can't believe I'm saying this. I just feel like people don't like other things repeating. That's why Jokic may not repeat. You know,
What I'll say about Drew Holiday is I think to me Holiday has the potential to be that, but he doesn't play that every night consistently.
yeah,
That would be what I he has potential that I've seen him play, great defense. I've seen him play a lockdown defense, but he kind of turns it on and off a little too much. So in order and like that's okay when you're an older player and you're conserving energy and like in the Bucks case it's about the long term like big picture and us playing in the playoffs, but to win that award, it's about the whole season. And like, if you want to be Defensive Player of the Year, you got to bring it defensively every single night. So that's what I would say about that. But he has the potential on any given night, or in a big setting, or in a big playoff game like he did in the finals with the steal on Devin Booker. Like you see it there. In the moment that calls for it, he can deliver it. But other guys, if they're going to play that hard consistently, then they're going to, win the award.
yeah.
That's what I'll say about it. I will say one other quick. This is like a really. I did forget to mention Anthony Davis as a candidate, so I'll give him some respect there. One other guy I'll quickly throw in, and this is like a really dark horse, like out of left field candidate that could win Defensive Player of the Year. You guys might think it's crazy, but Jared Allen of the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Oh,
He has
nice.
he seems he seems like every year, he's blocking stars at the rim, and he's coming up with these highlight reel type blocks. And the fans love those meeting at the summits. They love denials at the rim, and I'm one of those guys. So he's probably he's an extreme dark horse with that, but who knows? Anything is possible, maybe.
That's good that you said that because the Cavs right now, if the playoffs started today, they would be in the playoffs, and it's mainly because of their defense.
Isaac Okoro.
hmm You know what? I think I'm gonna switch my pick and go with Giannis. I can't not pick my boy Giannis. I
Thank
was
you.
gonna pick Bam. I
I
was
was
Thank
gonna
you.
pick
doing
Bam.
that too. I was thinking of switching too. I don't know. It's a toss up.
I
I
think
mean,
if the Bucks can get their act together, whoever, depending on who's the best defensive team out of the Heat and the Bucks, that's who's gonna win it. If the Heat are better defensively in their ranking, I think Bam's gonna win it. If the Bucks and Giannis can get back to that defensive mentality, then Giannis is gonna win it. Depending on which team goes there. I believe the Heat are higher than the Bucks right now, but the Bucks are struggling, with broke out. But I gotta pick Giannis. I can't have his posters here and not pick Giannis. I was gonna pick Bam because defensively, Miami Heat, they're gonna be tough and rugged, and he's like the prototype big. He can guard on the perimeter, guard in the pick and rolls, block shots, block Tatum at the rim. But Giannis, he has so much energy. He sprints even if the shot don't go his way. He sprints back and gets that block at the rim. So I'm gonna pick my boy Giannis. I gotta pick Giannis at least one time. So
Giannis,
the
Giannis, Giannis is smiling at home right now. Ashley, you've really made his day. He remembers. He remembers. Giannis remembers how you're an original. You're one of the first loyalists
I am.
in terms of your Giannis support.
Let
He
me tell
remembers.
you a story. Back when they had Draft Express and they was showed Giannis, and at the time I said that's who the Bucks should get, but they're not gonna do it because they're chasing the eighth seed. I was really afraid we were gonna pick Shane Larkin or Kelly Olynyk, and
Oh,
then and then when Giannis came his name, I was like, yes, yes. I knew who he was. A lot of people was like, who is this? But I knew who he was. And I was like, yes, we finally made a pick because, those other picks will be role players. Giannis had a chance to be the star, and I knew it from day one. From day
Shane
one.
Larkin. I hate to say it. No disrespect to Shane Larkin. If you're out there, I'm sorry to say this about you, but had we picked Shane Larkin, the Milwaukee Bucks very well may not be in Milwaukee right now. At that time, like
No.
we needed a young player that generated fan interest, that made people want the Bucks to stay, that gave us a reason to follow the team, and Giannis was that dude from day one. So sorry, Shane Larkin. Um, it wouldn't have worked out with you, buddy. I'm glad we got this instead.
Who do you think's gonna win Coach of the Year? There's a lot of different candidates. You My pick would be very easily JP Bickerstaff, mainly because the Cavs, they're the surprise team. They're in the playoffs right now. I hope they can get it, keep it. Colin Sexton getting hurt may hurt their chances, but we may see a Cavs team make the playoffs without LeBron or Kyrie. That'd be awesome. So that's my.
Oh, oh, without
you
LeBron, say
you can
it
pick
ain't
a lot
so.
of different coaches.
Say it ain't so.
That
Say it ain't
would
so.
be amazing.
They
And
should they should make like a mural for that. We made the playoffs without LeBron. That's what the mural should say, and it should be on a giant billboard right as you drive into Cleveland.
oh yeah, they should. They
Playoffs
should.
without LeBron. Then they can
That's
have like that LeBron picture of like the crying meme where he's like in the headband, he's like crying on the picture.
oh boy.
Oh man, that took a turn.
Utah Jazz, Quinn Snyder you could pick, or Steve Nash, or the Wizards are making the playoffs right now. They're number one in the East. Wes
Who is the
Unseld,
Wizards coach?
Wes
Wes
Unseld
Unseld.
Jr.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's not Scott Brooks anymore.
Nope, nope, nope.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he wasn't quite getting it done.
Nah, wasn't getting it done. Nah. Yeah, you could pick Eric Spoister. Um, a lot of different coaches, but I picked the Cavs. JB. Who you got, Katie and Cal?
Um, I think like, well, it could be Steve Kerr again because they have a lot of new pieces and basically it has coached them up to be really solid this year again all of a sudden. So I'm thinking he's a front runner, and then yeah, Eric Spoelstra could be too, but I would go with Steve Kerr.
Good pick. Good pick. They're on a roll.
Yeah.
Oh, Katie. She nailed it because that's who I was gonna say as well. So I had Steve Kerr as my winner. At this moment in time, he's the leader, and the way it's looking, there's probably a very strong chance he'll win it. So that's who I'll go with. Some of my other candidates were Eric Spoelstra, Monty Williams in Phoenix, and Mike Malone of the Nuggets.
Oh
But
yeah.
I'll go with Kerr right now. I'll go with Kerr. How about
I'll
you,
go
Ashley?
with JP Bickerstaff with the
Oh yeah,
Cavs. You
oh
know,
yeah. Sorry, I had a momentary lapse there.
I do like the Warriors. I feel like they rose from the bottom with winning the championship, and then they created a dynasty with KD. Two more, and then they kind of fell off, and then got two top picks with James Wiseman and Jonathan Kuminga. No,
Kuminga,
Kuminga.
Kuminga,
Oh yeah, Cal, with the
Jonathan
pronunciation.
Kuminga. Hey, if you're out there, Jonathan Kuminga, I got your name right. I got
Oh
your name.
yeah.
Be a
I feel like with those
NBA.
two picks, they're they're making a comeback.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So who do you think's gonna be the sixth man of the year? The sixth man of the year. There's a lot of different candidates. Jordan Clarkson could win it again, back to back. You got Derrick Rose from the Knicks. There's a lot of different picks. I
Well, I
think.
want.
Oh yeah, you go.
Is
I'll let Katie.
Montrez a starter or is he coming off the bench?
Who?
Montrez Harrell for Washington.
Um,
Hmm, that's a good question.
He's having a really good year after
I
he
think
traded.
he, I think he's coming off the bench because I think the Wizards start Kuzma and Daniel Gafford.
Okay, so I
Oh,
think he could be a strong candidate. He's
That's
he
a
playing
was
really
with the
well.
Clippers.
Yeah, and he won it before, so.
that's a good
Oh, wait,
choice.
yeah.
That is a good choice.
How about you, Kyle?
Um, so right now, my candidates would be Jordan Clarkson, Bobby Portis. I'm gonna go. I gotta give my love to my guy Bobby.
Bobby, Bobby,
Bobby.
Bobby.
That's right. Shout out BP. Shout out BP. Shout out Arkansas. Go Hogs. Um, uh, I've got Furkan Korkmaz of the Sixers as a possible candidate for that. Um, I've got Tyler Hero. Although Tyler Hero, it's a little weird because he comes off the bench, but he plays like he's averaging like 34 minutes a game right
Yeah.
now. So are you really a six man if you play starters minutes like that, even though you're technically coming off the bench? that's always like a weird area that messes it up a little bit, because if the minutes don't matter and it's strictly about coming off the bench, then I would say Hero is by far and away the leader right now to win that award. But if you want to give it to a guy who really plays a more traditional bench role and averages like 20 25 minutes, which I usually tend to want to go with more, I like to give that award to guys who truly do play like bench minutes more
Mhm.
so. That's a part of the reason why I think Bobby Portis got shafted a little bit last year, because he only averaged like 22 minutes and he was giving you 11 and a half points, 7.5 rebounds on like absolutely crazy shooting percentages overall. So I kind of thought he didn't really get as much acknowledgement as he should have for that last year. Not saying he like for sure should have won, or that like, you know, Jordan Clarkson wasn't a worthy winner in his own way, but it feels like Portis got overlooked a lot last year for that award. So it would be kind of nice to see if he could win that this year or do something with that. Um, but yeah, another guy right now who's playing really well in that role actually is Lamarcus Aldridge on the
Oh
Brooklyn
yeah.
Nets. Right now, albeit it is early, and Aldridge is an older player. So the question is, will he be able to do that or continue that all year? But as of right now, um, I believe he's averaging 20 minutes a game, um, and he's averaging like 12 points on like 58% overall shooting, which is great. Um, but I'll probably go with Hero, I guess, right now, because he'll have the numbers, he'll have the stats. Even though technically it's that weird gray area where he's going to play starters minutes, and I don't know. But then again, like that's basically what it was for like Jamal Crawford and Lou Williams. Those guys like didn't start and came off the bench, and they played like 32 minutes a game. So it's kind of like the same thing there, and it didn't matter or didn't affect anything when it came to those guys winning that award. So I guess I'm gonna go with Hero for that, for the six man.
I see what you're saying, Kyle. I do agree. I don't know if the six man should play over 30 minutes. That's definitely starters minutes. But I gotta go with Hero because he's averaging like 21 points. He basically has the green light to shoot mid range threes, 37%, 45 from the field. He rebounds a little bit, passes a little bit. And he's from Wisconsin. We got to give it up. He is from Wisconsin, but I think he sometimes says he's from Milwaukee when he's not. So I don't know why he's claiming Milwaukee. You're from, I don't know what part he's from, but he's not from Milwaukee. I think he says Milwaukee because it sounds cooler.
Is it
He
like,
went to Whitnall High School,
yeah,
so he's kind of more from, I guess, like Greenfield area.
yeah.
Hmm.
No,
So,
Tyler Hero, he's never afraid of the big shot. That's for sure.
yeah.
He wants the moment. He wants the big shot. So you got to
He's
respect him for that.
definitely a bucket. He's definitely a bucket. He has a lot of variety of ways of scoring. He can score in the paint, floater. He
I
definitely.
I feel like Tyler Hero. Now, sorry to cut you off, but he's probably the most confident player in NBA history, given his age. Like most confident 21-year-old ever. Like is that fair to say? I mean, maybe like LeBron James or Michael Jordan, like
You
at that age.
gotta have that confidence.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I know there are other guys, Magic Johnson, Lou, Kareem, yeah, Shaq. There are other guys that at an early age were like that, but he's crazy. Like he'll take any moment, he'll take any shot, and he's not afraid of it. No, he's big
That's
time.
good. That's a
He's
good trait. The
big time.
next, the next award is the most improved. There's different candidates. Jordan Poole, Miles Bridges. Who do you guys think? It's a tough award. It's tough.
So like for me right now, like given we're only 3 weeks just starting into our third week of the season, there's
Mhm.
like there are probably like 15 or 20 candidates, for, for like it being
Just
this
say
season.
a couple. Just say a couple.
No, I know. So uh my candidates right now are Grayson Allen.
Oh
That's
yeah.
fun.
Shout out Grayson Allen. Love the pickup by him. Love that pickup for my Bucks. Darius Garland is a good candidate for that right now in
I like
Cleveland.
him on the Cavs. Yes,
Um, I think Mo Bamba is maybe a potential candidate.
I
Um,
like him. I like him.
I think Robert Williams in Boston is a potential candidate. I think OG Anunoby in Toronto is a candidate. Miles Bridges, Jordan Poole, Jalen Brunson, and I promise, and the last one is John Morant. So those are.
Okay.
Trust me, Ashley. When you invited me on the show, I did my thorough homework. Like
Hey, that's what I want. That's good. That's good.
I did my thorough homework for this show. I took it very seriously, and I took my pen and my paper and my notepad, and I got down with the basketball education and the research. So I really went in on this. So yeah, right now with it being early, there's I mentioned a bunch of candidates. Ultimately, choosing one, I'm going to go with John Morant right now because he's just made a massive leap, and like he's kind of so far it's early, but so far he's made the leap from an all-star caliber player to an MVP type level caliber player, and we kind of saw a similar leap when Giannis won his most improved award and back in 2017. He went from being like an almost a borderline all-star kind of player to an absolutely formidable surefire all-star player. So I think whenever you make a leap, um, whenever you progress and make a leap of that caliber, where you go from very solid above average player to an elite all-star level player, that's
Mhm.
when those guys tend to win those awards. So I'm gonna go with John Morant right now for most improved.
I like him. I like his swag.
Oh
Oh,
yeah, everything about his game is great.
speaking of John Morant, I saw a stat. I'm not for sure on this, but I think he's actually leading the league in points in the paint. I
Wow,
just saw a stat on Twitter.
that's
And the
crazy.
rest are bigs, like Giannis is on there, but he's leading it right now, which is amazing. He's like 6'2".
He has a really great floater. He has great finishing skills around the basket. He has good vision, great passing. He can rebound pretty solidly. He's a complete player, and he's just continuing to get better. So shout out John Morant. You're making the league fun. We
Oh
love it.
yeah.
Us basketball junkies can't get enough of that stuff. We love when players put on a show.
Yeah, he's very electric, very exciting. How about you, Katie?
Yeah, I had Jordan Poole and John Morant as my top two.
Okay,
I
okay.
had John Morant on my fantasy team last year, and he didn't do nearly as good as I thought he would. But this is the year I thought he would be like he is this year, last year. So I definitely think he's improved a ton. Yeah, and Jordan Poole, I mean, when Clay Thompson comes back, it might take away some of that, his production as well.
Yep,
So
yep, yep, yep,
I
yep.
think I'll go with John Morant also.
Wow, this may be the first time we all have the same answers. I'm taking Ja too. Because I feel like Jordan, I like what you said, Katie. Jordan has a lot of opportunity, but his production may go down when Clay comes back. And as far I do like DeJounte Murray. I think he has improved. His numbers haven't jumped out there, but I feel like you have to. It's like the eye test. You
Yeah,
gotta play.
that's a good one.
Yeah. Miles Bridges, his production has flew from like 12 points to like 21 points, but can he keep it up is the question. But the other day, I think it was yesterday, the Hornets actually beat the Warriors, and he had like 22 points. Miles is like close to Ja, but I picked Ja because he's like he went from All Star to MVP status. I feel like if the Grizzlies get a better record, he can grow into the MVP later on. And he's just exciting to watch. Even like when he takes off and he doesn't make the dunk, it's so exciting. Got the floater, and he's not that great of a 3-point shooter, but he has confidence and he like talks trash. It's awesome. He reminds me of like Iverson because he's like skinny, but at the same time he's like strong and can finish at the rim. He's like that skinny, strong type of player.
To me, Ja is almost like he's almost like a hybrid, like um, a mix between Derrick Rose and Chris Paul.
Oh, nice.
Like Derrick Rose with the finishing ability and like the floater that he had like early on in Chicago, his MVP year. Um, well, he still does have a good floater, but it was particularly crazy in that MVP year. I remember. Um, and then just maybe he's not quite the level of passer, obviously, as Chris Paul, but he can definitely pass pretty well, and he shows a lot of creativity there, a lot of the ability to see a play and see a cut from somebody before it happens. Being able to read what's going to happen before it takes place. So we're
Yeah.
making show history. We're making IB Ballin basketball show history by all agreeing on the same selection. Look at
Oh
that.
yeah.
It's not just the Bucks this year that made history. History made it's the IB Ballin show makes its own history. Make our own
so
history.
so next, who do you think made the best moves? Who do you think is going to be the executive slash GM of the year? It's tough. You got Pat Riley with the Heat. You know, who
Um,
do you guys think?
I'm gonna go with this is where I mentioned earlier that I was gonna bring Evan Mobley back into things. I'm gonna go with Kobe Altman of the Cleveland Cavaliers for
Okay, right. Good
executive
pick.
of the year. Given it, because a few reasons. Usually that award for executive of the year goes to like a surprise team, that wasn't expected to be like a playoff team. And so, like when you look at the Bucks back when John Hammond won Executive of the Year after the 2009-2010 season, that was the year that we kind of exceeded expectations, and we made the playoffs. We had our first really good winning season in quite some time. So John Hammond won that award back then, and I see a similar thing happening with Altman and the Cavs. So like I think some of the good moves that he made is I think the Ricky Rubio signing was very good for them.
Yeah.
Rubio has fit in pretty well there. He's very good with getting Jarrett Allen involved, getting Evan Mobley and those younger players some easy buckets and some good open looks, and his shooting has improved a bit through his time. And I think the other day he had like a game where he made 7 or 8 threes and had like 30 points or like 36 points or something. And I was watching ESPN and I was looking at the score ticker at like the bottom of the screen, and it said Rubio 36 points, like 8 threes made, and I was like, huh? What was that? And I had to like look twice. So
Mhm.
I think that was a good signing. I think the Evan Mobley draft pick was very good. Um, I believe he was the fourth pick, I think, in the draft. So
The third pick.
or third pick. Okay, because it went Cade Cunningham one, Jalen Green two, Mobley three. Oh yeah, Barnes was four. I got
Yeah.
I got I got Barnes and Mobley mixed up. But so I mean he could have maybe picked somebody else instead of Mobley there. Um, I'm not totally sure who he. I'd have to relook at the draft kind of a little bit. Maybe it, maybe it was kind of clear that Mobley should be picked there, but either way, regardless, he still made the selection. Still a good pick. Um, I like the I like that they were able to sign Allen to a extension to be their center, so they shored up that position and secured the center position. Which, despite what people may think out there, I still believe the center position is extremely important in
Oh
today's
yeah.
end. Right now, we're seeing the consequences of not having a center with Brook out, and
Right.
the rebounding suffers, the interior isn't defended and isn't protected, and it doesn't matter what year we get to, whether it's 2040, whether it's 2057. I think the center position will always matter in the NBA. We're not gonna. I'm sorry to the people out there that think that 10 years from now there's going to be 6'1", 185-pound centers in like the NBA. That's not going to happen. Pat Connaughton types aren't going to be like centers going forward. You still need a you still need a traditional big, and just look at last year's finals between the Suns and Bucks. DeAndre Ayton and Brook Lopez. They were two traditional like big centers. Like it totally it mattered. Like it mattered for both teams. And the Bucks had to rely on defense and altering shots at the rim and Giannis blocking Ayton at the rim in Game 4. Like that's what you need in the NBA. Still, you need that rim protection. You need to alter shots. You want guards to fear coming into the lane. You don't want an open highway to drive right down. So you want to close that off. You want to put out those road cones, those road blocks, and you want to close that road off. So centers are still very important today. So my pick is Altman for Executive of the Year. It's been a while since Cleveland has won very many personal awards, so we'll
Yeah.
go with Cleveland. I know they won the 2016 championship, but I'm talking in terms of individual awards. It's been a little while since they have won like an individual award. So we'll go with the Cavs and Kobe Altman.
So how about you, Katie? Who did you pick?
Well, the Heat would be a good pick with Pat Riley, but then I think the Wizards really turned their team around, and they have a really strong team around Bradley Beal. They got a new coach, and they're like on top of the East right now. I
Yes.
think they're gonna keep doing good. So I don't know if it's the GM or executive, but I know Tommy Shepard is the GM of the Wizards. But I don't know who would he be the one
Yeah,
that
you
would.
can pick him. He
Okay,
he would be the winner.
yep,
That's
that's
a
who I
good
would pick.
pick. They're number one.
Mhm.
I think the Heat, they did a great job with stealing PJ Tucker from us because I think they were interested in Bobby Portis too. Well, why are you interested in our players, Heat? Tell me why. Okay? But
Yeah, give it to him, Ashley. Yeah,
I
Pat Riley. Pat Riley is gonna fear you by the end of this show.
Pat Riley looks like he's the leader of a mob,
He
He looks
does.
very clean and smooth. But,
He
I
can
think
totally destroy me.
I
Pat
think Pat.
Riley, if you're out there, I'm not challenging you to a fight.
No, it's all in fun, Heat. It's all in fun, Heat. We go back and forth. It's all in fun. Getting Kyle Lowry, that is amazing. Re-signing Robinson. But I do like the Wizards pick also with trading Westbrook. It added more depth for them. Kuzma's playing well. They got Spencer Dinwiddie, Montrezl Harrell. Chicago, I like them, even though I post to, be the Milwaukee, Chicago thing,
Oh yeah,
it's tension there. It's always a rivalry there. But I
good,
like
good
getting
point.
Lonzo Ball, Alex Caruso, you know, DeMar DeRozan, and I do like your pick, Cal, with Kobe Altman.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe I'm gonna say this, but I like what Chicago did. Please don't hurt me, Milwaukee. Don't hurt me. I gotta give it up to Chicago. They actually did something good. I do like them getting Lonzo Ball and Alex Caruso. They're a good defensive backcourt, but Alex Caruso comes off the bench. But oh well. Um, it's too bad that Patrick Williams got hurt. But I do like them getting DeRozan and Zach Levine are like the highest scoring duo this year, I think. And Chicago's doing well, so I picked them. So I'm showing Chicago love,
I, I'm 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 hesitant to buy into the Washington Wizards stuff. That it's maybe I'll be wrong, but to me,
early.
it's early. I have my questions about Bradley Beal as a leader and like as a real winning type player. But the Montrezl Harrell move was really good for them. Kuzma's been solid. So no, their GM has made some solid moves. So that's a solid pick. They've been doing well, but I'm hesitant to believe too strongly in them. So right now, to me, in my personal opinion, them being at the top of the East is just early season outlier kind of stuff that will shape up as the season goes by. Um, to me, they're more of like a seventh or eighth seeded type play in team, but maybe I'm being too disrespectful or too harsh with the Wizards. But
It's
Pat
a wait
Riley,
and see thing,
Pat Riley's a solid choice because of bringing in Kyle Lowry and Jimmy Butler. Those are playoff type moves that you make to make a run in the playoffs. So it did it did hurt seeing PJ Tucker leave, but the Bucks every for the past 3 years during our past three years of playoff runs that we've had, every year at the trade deadline we've picked somebody up. So first we picked up Nikola Mirotic in 2019. Then it was Marvin Williams, and then last year was PJ Tucker. So for me, I think we'll find like a veteran type player similar along those lines that we'll pick up again around that time. And signing for the Bucks, having a player like PJ Tucker, like an older guy in the regular season, that doesn't really help you because if he's playing regular season minutes, you're tiring him out for like the playoffs. So it was kind of a tough thing to balance a little bit. If I was the Miami Heat, I personally wouldn't be playing him 36 minutes in October, November like games. I personally would disagree with that, but they want to send a message to us and they want to send a message to the league that we're like unstoppable now and all this stuff. But to me, I would play the long game with someone like PJ Tucker, and I would limit his minutes to like 15 or 20 during like the regular season and save him for the playoffs. But that's just me. That's just me. We can all have different views and opinions. But shout out PJ Tucker if you're out there, man, the shoe king. We loved you in Milwaukee. You brought that mentality to us that we needed, and you came up with big plays, great hustle plays, great rebounding, some timely shots that you were able to make. So thanks for your contributions, man. And even if even if uh, even if things get for lack of irony or better wording, heated between us in the playoffs, know that we all still love you. We still thank you for what you did for us, but hey, you're the enemy now. Like, Giannis has no friends on the basketball court. when Giannis steps in between the lines, it's just like he said in his rookie year about Carmelo Anthony when he was getting trash talked. Giannis said, "To me, you're just a jersey." So Giannis sees no friends when he steps onto the court. So just know that we all love you still, PJ, but you're an opponent now. So when you come to Milwaukee, our fans are gonna bring it. We're gonna we're gonna give you heat. Pun intended. Pun intended there, PJ.
You
Oh
got
yeah.
some good puns, Kyle. You got some good puns.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ashley.
So
Thank you.
I need to get going, but
Oh, sure.
do you guys just want to finish the show?
Yeah. Well, sorry. Yeah, we'll try to speed
I
it up.
Well, I think I had all my picks. I'm not sure if there was any more.
I think we were gonna do like the who gets the number one pick, and then maybe a finals matchup. So we can try to go through that quickly.
Oh,
Oh, okay. If you have to go, Katie, just tell me who do you think's gonna get the number one pick, and who's gonna make
the
the
finals.
final?
Okay, the
Yes.
number one pick, I would say Detroit. And then the finals, I hope it's the Bucks versus Golden State.
That would be
Oh,
a great
nice
matchup.
one. What
Be a
about
great.
you, Kyle?
Yeah, that'll be my
For
ultimate.
uh, can I go or okay?
Yes, Kyle.
Uh, so my number one pick would probably be between the Thunder or Rockets. I'm thinking it'll go to one of those teams. I guess I'll pick Rockets because I think the NBA wants them to be relevant again after Harden's departure. And they didn't really get like fair value really at all for James Harden. Like to me, that was just a weird bad trade where they didn't really get anything for him. So I think they after losing Harden, they'll get a couple top picks. So I know last year they got the number 2 pick with Jalen Green. I think this year they'll get the number 1 pick this time. As far as my finals matchup, oh, you're gonna love this. You are going to love this, Ashley.
I am.
This might be contrary to a lot of people out there right now, but I am going with another Bucks Suns matchup. Uh,
Oh, wow.
yes,
Another Bucks Suns matchup.
I
Wow.
am, I am going with the rematch. We are gonna
Mm,
have we are gonna have our fun all over again.
all over again. Wow.
Yeah, I know that it's a little bold. I know the Warriors are playing great. I know there's a lot of solid, good teams in the West, but I feel like the Suns are being slept on and maybe getting lost a little bit in some things. They do deserve credit. They made the finals. I know they had some injury luck. That happens there. They played the Lakers in round one with Davis and LeBron kind of dinged up, and then they played the Nuggets and Jamal Murray was out, and then they played the Clippers and Kawhi Leonard was out. But then they played us, and Giannis was not 100% and banged up. The first 2 or 3 games. Even though you wouldn't have known it by how great he was on the court, but he definitely wasn't anywhere close to 100% at all. And they were able to take the first 2 from us. So no, they're a very formidable team. They played us hard. They played us well. Nothing but respect for the Suns. I respect Chris Paul as a leader. Devin Booker has grown a lot. Um, DeAndre Ayton's a young player that just keeps getting better. They have good size. I think they have the most depth out of any of the teams. They have at center. They have Ayton, Kaminsky, and JaVale McGee now. So that's a lot of size, a lot of rebounding. Kaminsky can shoot the ball. Bridges can shoot the ball. Crowder can shoot the ball. Bridges, Cam Johnson. Cam Johnson can shoot the ball. They have like the most complete team, I think. Cameron Payne off the bench. Their depth is just really good. I think their coaching is very strong. I don't really see a lot of weaknesses when I look at them. And like Chris Paul is like a playoff type player, and I think he just really fit in so well with them last year, and I have to give them respect. And to me, the favorite should always be the favorite shouldn't change until somebody beats you. You know, you've earned the respect. The Bucks have earned the respect to be a finals favorite right now, provided that we're healthy. That is like a key. I will stress that. If we're not healthy and we don't get healthy for the rest of the year, then yeah, you can't hold me to like what I'm saying. But provided at full strength, at full health, the Bucks and Suns should be the favorites, I think, to rematch right now. And regardless of how well the Warriors are playing great right now, but what's their count? I question if their lack of size will come up in like a playoff series against like a Nikola Jokic type, a DeAndre Ayton type, an Anthony Davis type, who on the Warriors, you know, is gonna bang with those guys under the basket and who's gonna do much. I know like the league is different in small ball fives, and you know Draymond Green is a great defender, a great player. He does what he can, but I think the league has changed. You know, when the Warriors were winning those championships, post Andrew Bogut. So when they were playing Draymond Green at the five, even though it was a couple years, I know it was only like 3-4 years ago, but at that time, 3-4 years ago, Nikola Jokic wasn't like as big of a thing. You know, he hadn't developed yet or broken out. Embiid was getting injured more often. Anthony Davis and LeBron weren't paired together. Uh, DeAndre Ayton wasn't drafted yet, wasn't around. Giannis has improved a lot since then, you know, playing around the basket defensively. And so I feel like, you know, our Bam is another guy who wasn't like around really then. So even though it's only been a couple years, I think we are seeing a shift go back to like a bigger type center, like the traditional bigs in like the center role with Embiid, with Jokic, with Aiton, with a lot of these guys. Valanciunas is like another guy who's good that you know he's kind of forgotten just because he plays in New Orleans and you know they're not good at all. To be blunt, to put it frank, sorry New Orleans. You know you got some good jazz, some good stuff down there, but you don't have a good basketball team to follow right now, and unfortunately your food is a little too good for Zion Williamson too. You guys
Oh
should
my
you
goodness.
guys have to maybe think about changing that. Sorry,
Oh.
sorry Zion.
Uh,
I love Zion, but you gotta take your game seriously right now. You're a great player. Yeah. Sorry, I don't mean to pick on you like Shaq and Charles Barkley did, but I hope the best for you. I like Zion as a player, but I won't be too harsh there. But I just think we are just seeing a general shift towards like bigs again, and you know some people might disagree, and you know they think the game has changed and it's not as important, but I still believe that it's pretty strongly important. So I'll say Bucks Suns. That's my rematch. I hope the Bucks can win again if that does take place. But Chris Paul, I wouldn't mind if he got a championship because he's been around so long and he's fought so hard, and you know he's had a few unlucky breaks during his course of his playoff career where he's had some injuries come up at the wrong time and just some situational stuff, that some bad luck type stuff that happened to him in the playoffs, that he wasn't able to close the deal on a few series. So respect to the Suns and the Bucks for me. So right now I'll say Bucks Suns. But it's a long season, and there's the trade deadline, and there's things that take place and there's things that happen. So there's always going to be some shifts and some changes possibly. So we'll see. We'll see.
I'm gonna agree with Katie and say the Bucks and the Warriors because I feel like the Warriors got a lot of young pieces, but they also have their vets with Iguodala and Green and Curry. They got the youngins, Wiseman, that hasn't even played yet. They got Clay that hasn't even played yet. They got some shooters. I like Gary Payton Jr. And
Oh
of course,
man, GP2. Oh
yeah,
man.
I got his autograph from when he was on the Bucks. And I'm a Bucks fan. I'm gonna say Bucks are gonna win it all back to back.
Mhm.
But of course, we gotta be healthy. Brooke, I hope his back is all right, and we're gonna make a move at the deadline. And the number one pick goes to OKC Thunder because they are bad and they need talent. I do like Josh Giddey, their rookie, um, but that's what I would say. And with that, we're gonna wrap up the show. I hope you guys liked all the predictions. We're gonna come back and do this next year and see who was right, who was wrong. We talked about a lot of awards. We talked about the Bucks some. Hope they can get it together because some fans are worried. Some are saying relax. It's early, but thank you, Cal and Katie, for joining me. Even though we had technical difficulties, it was fun hearing all your thoughts. And that's it for IBB Ballin'. Hope you come back. Make sure you subscribe, like, and comment. And see you later. Peace.
Bye.
On that note, you can't rise if you don't fall.
Oh, nice.
Can't
Nice.
rise. You can't rise to the top if you don't fall first. So you got to fall in order to rise. So thank you for having me on the show, Ashley. It was great talking basketball with both of you. Take care of both of you and take care to everybody out there. Enjoy hoops and enjoy life. Go
Oh,
Bucks.
yeah.
Thank you, Ashley.
See ya.
Bye bye, guys.